Right, there we go with the Anderson connector, the 50 amp Anderson connector. That's what it looks like inside. Looks like it'll do the job, doesn't it? Okay. So that is going to go onto our negative lead. And as I said, because it's going to be a permanent fixture, there's not much point cutting them like that. So I might as well leave the loops on there. A couple of those things. Okay, so just like that. That's probably too long. You can see that it doesn't take very long to put one of these things together, just to be a portable kit. And don't forget to drag your hand over all these little bits of wire that have been cut off here, because they'll stick in your skin and they'll keep you alert for hours. You'll be snagging on things. And that is the wrong crimp tool. That's the one for coaxes, that one. Must have been doing that RF switch thing. Never mind. Okay, so we'll leave that for now, and we'll connect the breaker. So put it on the pos end of the battery, maybe. Like that, something like that. So that needs to come down to. Probably use a bit of this actually, it doesn't need to be very long, does it? There we go, so we'll solder that. Onto the breaker. Now whether to butt joint it or whether to wrap it, that's the question, isn't it? Whether to butt joint it or whether to wrap it. No, let's if I butt joint it, I could put a bit of, I'll put a bit of heat shrink over that and just butt joint it, I think. Could sort of wrap it. You see, if I wrap it, I won't be able to. See, if I wrap it around that connection, there, I won't be able to put any heat shrink sleeve over it. So maybe I'll just butt joint it. Maybe I'll just butt joint it like that. See how it looks. Don't like butt jointing. Sort of smells of slack to me, but anyway, we'll give it a crack and see how it looks. So again, with the very nice soldering iron. I wonder if it'll solder to this. It's a pretty shiny surface that. I might have to. Oh no, look at that. That's burnt that shine right off that. No messing. Tin that. Tin it all over. Yow. There we go. Right. This is going to be extremely hot. Oh, can't hold it. Okay, so what I need to do, I need to be able to prop that up on something. There we go. That's better. probably going to. And there's the Rolling Stone 2-metre repeater kicking up in the background, so I forgot to turn it off as usual. Actually, that's a pretty good butt joint to me. That mightn't be bad at all. Now we're going to have that one there. Battery. So that's going to come around to there, and that's going to go to there. Yeah, that's okay. You probably heard that. That's John, VK6JB mobile, out and about. And that's going to have to come up to, don't tell me that's not long enough. That is not long enough. It's going to have to come up to there. Okay, alright, well let's do the other end. So this is what amateur radio is all about, really. It's just playing around with bits of wire. Playing around with bits of wire and radio gear, antennas and all this sort of stuff. This is just part of my portable setup, and as I said earlier, or on the other video, I did have some problems with that with the power feed to my 857 last night when I was talking on the new Caterby repeater. There we go. I'll just tin that again. But I'll have to change that for a longer one. And then I'll get the right crimper and put a bit of heat shrink on there. Actually, that's a really good point. I bought some heat shrink earlier on, and I'll show you a bit of that. Here we go. And you can always, this is pretty tough stuff. So if your project's not going terribly well, a metre of this is only a couple of bucks. You can always, it's pretty tough, so if your project's not going terribly well, you can always make a noose out of it, and tie one end round one of the horizontal parts of your radio tower at a height of about 40 feet. Put it around your neck and jump off. Right. Just call me. No, I won't say that in case it's copyright. Okay. And that was, of course, a joke. Or at least a feeble attempt at one. Okay, right, now we'll have another one of those, about the same length. Like that. And we'll put that in the general utility repository. There we go. Now, will that go over that? Yes, it will. So now what I've got to do is tin this wire. So there is a bit of a breeze. Come up. It doesn't seem to be penetrating the house. Must be a conspiracy on the part of the gods. Okay, right, there we go. Now, this is going to get absolutely, there we go, it's a bit of downward pressure on that. That's melting very nicely. You probably can't see that, but that's melting very nicely. I'll just put a bit of that on there. There we go. That's probably as good as it will get. Would that have been any better if I'd have wrapped it? Probably not, actually. Now, what do I do with my bit of red wire? We need a longer bit of red wire. Wake up. That goes, it's going to go like that. Like that. It'll go on there. It'll go like that, actually. Yeah, that'll probably go like that. Oh, and that's another one of the local guys on his way home. He's got away early today. I'm just going to turn that off, sorry about that. So the local 2 metre repeater is quite busy, as you probably gathered, if you've watched any of these videos. Right, okay, now a bit of red wire, so it's got to go there, like that. It's going to come down there, and then go up to there. It wants to do it nice and comfortably, so we'll make it that long. Stuff there, and that will have a loop at the other end, so I won't have to worry about remembering to put that on, because I had to remember to put that on because it's soldered at that end and it's in the plug that end. This end doesn't matter because it's going to be crimp loops on it. Yeah, I've probably been doing a lot of this out of shot, hope not. But I suspect that's the case. Anyway, it doesn't matter. That is the case. You've probably been spared an awful lot of dribble. Okay. I've been watching some of these prepper videos, you know, prepper comms and all this sort of stuff, and they've got some of these arrangements they have are really quite elaborate, and I think, well, you know, under the sort of conditions that they're talking about preparing for, a lot of this stuff, you know, you want minimum current draw, and they've got blowers in there, and they've got auxiliary receivers, and they've got goodness knows what else, and I thought, yeah, it's probably not the best way to go about prepping. And the other thing too is, you know, your radios, you don't want the displays blazing away on them. You turn the displays off, or have it so that the display will only run for 3 seconds when you make a change to the radio. It'll probably be under real prepper conditions. That's the sort of thing you'd want to look at. But some of these things are, you know, it's like they feel like they need NORAD in a box along with them. Okay. Now, there we go. Come on, melt. You know you can do it. There you go. Look at that. Beautiful. Well, that's certainly not bad. Beautiful might be pushing it a bit, but it's certainly not bad. Okay. So now we want our bit of heat shrink to go over that. Like that. And there's the black wire there, and we'll trim that up, put a lug on it when I get the correct crimper. Now earlier on today, because I didn't have a heat gun, and I'm not working today, so I couldn't borrow a heat gun from work, I bought a heat gun. Now, is this about to turn into an unboxing video? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Would it be useful? Probably not. There's the pins for the other one. But it occurred to me that I thought, well, if I'm going to be doing some of this stuff, and it's handy to put heat shrink sleeving on things, you know, you know, that would be so much nicer with a bit of heat shrink on it. Put that on there and shrink it down like that. Put that on there and shrink it down. That will be so much nicer like that. That I'll get the heat gun, and this one was only, actually it was nowhere near 40 bucks. It was $39.95, and it comes with a load of accessories. It's got a scraper in there, a couple of scrapers, different shaped heads. You can adjust the temperature on it as well. I don't know if you can see that. Cheap as chips. So hopefully this will do the trick. What's inside the box? I hear you cry. Trying to contain your excitement, but bear with me. Yeah, the Rosito is actually an Australian company. Sounds like it should be, isn't it? It's got Oz in the title. Okay, quite like Christmas. Actually, it's a lot like Christmas. And it's just occurred to me where I bought this from. It's probably got you know, 2 or 3 year replacement warranty on it. There we go, here's my lifetime guarantee. I'll put that on the box. Here's the accessories. That's handy. It's got a little thing where it actually clips over inside the box, so you can see your accessories at a glance. It's all very good. Now I'm only really interested in blowing a bit of hot air over some heat shrink, so I won't worry too much about all the... It doesn't have the long shafted thing in it. The long shafted thing, it shows on the box, it's got a long shafted thing with a triangle on the end. But that is not there. Either I've been fleeced, or they've changed what you get in it. You know, often you get these things and it will say contents of box, subject to change at our discretion, something like that. This is probably going to stink to high heaven because it's the first time I've used it. But this looks a lot like, I don't know, it looks like a weapon, doesn't it? It looks like a, you know, when you were a kid back in the 60s, you had a Pifco ray gun. It used to run on those safety batteries made by Flying Bomb. They were completely Coulomb free, so you know there's absolutely zero electron flow from these batteries, so they were completely safe. Okay, let's fire it up. Won't worry too much about reading the instructions. It's somewhere in the middle. I reckon that's pretty good. So that's shrinking down quite nicely. Maybe a little bit hotter would be handy. Yeah, I'm going to make it a little bit hotter. There we go. Now that's why it's $39.95 with all the accessories that you don't get. The one at work, can't do that, you can't blow it onto your hand, it would just be far too uncomfortable. This one here, yeah. Okay, so as you can see, that's pretty useless. Okay, well, it's worth a crack, but that is just bloody useless. How many watts is this thing? 2,000 watts. Maybe I should read the instructions. That certainly doesn't feel like 2,000 watts, that's for sure. Maybe they got the plus and minus around the other way. Let's just try it the other way. See if that's hotter. Oh yeah, whoa. Yeah, look at that. Maybe it's me. I'm having trouble reading the instructions. You know, plus and minus, it's difficult stuff. There you go, set fire to the tablecloth.